This is Church News.
Good evening and welcome to Church News. I am Adedolakbo Ajayi. First, the headlines. Redeemed Christian Church of God holds June Thanksgiving Sunday service as Pastor E.A. Adeboye prays for liberty for those in captivity.
I said, Father, all those who are in bondage in one form or the other, please deliver them very quickly.
Cleric teaches about vision, direction, and the hand of God in every man's life. Says success is never by accident. Ukraine steps up criticism of Russian Orthodox Church, calling for its expulsion from World Council of Churches over stance on the war. And now the news in details. The Redeemed Christian Church of God has today been marking the June Thanksgiving Sunday to appreciate God for his faithfulness since the beginning of the year. Pastor E.A. Adeboye used the occasion to pray that God will set all those in captivity free and liberate Nigeria and Nigerians from all bondage of the enemy. Shegun Ojelade monitored the service and now reports.
The service, which usually holds at the national headquarters of the church, focused mainly on giving praise to God for his love and mercies.
I said, Father, all those who are in bondage in one form or the other, please deliver them very quickly. Go ahead, talk to the Lord.
Divine Partnership was the title of Pastor E.A. Adeboye's sermon, in which he admonished Christians not to rely on man, no matter how influential or close to them, but to take up partnership with God, who is ever faithful. He says nothing shall be impossible or difficult for anyone who partners with God.
No matter how clever you think you are, if you are not in partnership with God, the end result will not be very pleasant.
Pastor Adeboye reminded Christians to avoid pride and arrogance when God starts blessing them. He says God does not need man to achieve his heavenly purpose on earth, but no man can succeed in life without God.
The worst thing that can happen to any man is for God to have been your partner and then say, I'm no longer interested in you.
Prayers were offered for all those involved in financial institutions and the economy in Nigeria, and for divine intervention in the affairs of the nation. Shegun Ojelade, Church News.
At Living Faith Church, Idiaba, Abeokuta, also known as Winners Chapel, Sunday service took a purposeful turn as the congregation learned more about vision, direction, and the hand of God in a man's life. Inyoluwa Adeniyi has the details.
Winners Chapel, Idiaba, Abeokuta was alive with expectations as worshippers settled in for what would turn out to be a thought-provoking Sunday service. The resident pastor, Pastor Victor Akinshete, took to the pulpit with a message on understanding the purpose of vision for your life, especially how to recognize when it is truly God leading them and not just their own desires.
Every true vision drives the visionary. It doesn't matter where you are, keep your vision in view. You may be a slave today, you may be a house help today, you may be a driver today, you may be a helper today, but your enviable destiny will still come to reality.
When the service ended, the congregation had plenty to say. Members spoke about what struck them the most and what challenged them.
Everybody has a destiny with God. It's our responsibility to find out that destiny and to run with it.
I'm a unique person, and God created me for a particular purpose, and that purpose I cannot understand without going back to Him, who is the originator of the purpose.
Living a life without purpose is like living an unfulfilled life. If all that a believer comes to do is to get saved, remain in church, married, bear children, and finally die, there's no fulfilled purpose. But there is an assignment that we are called out for. There is a niche that God has given to every believer to occupy. That is why the place of vision is very important.
It was a Sunday that did not just inform them, but also challenged them. Iyoluwa Adeniyi, Church News.
In the meantime, across Nigeria, the pursuit of societal development remains inseparable from the quality of education available to our citizens. While government's efforts continue, Christian bodies have historically played a pivotal role in shaping minds, building schools, and raising leaders grounded in both knowledge and moral values. One of such initiatives is the Pa Moses Adeboye Learning Center, Ifewara, Osun State, with a dual mission of raising academic standards while grounding children in Christian values. Shegun Ojelade was in Ifewara.
Ifewara, a sleepy agrarian community in Osun State, southwest Nigeria. In the olden days, Ifewara had great farmers, hunters, and warriors who were forebears of today's vibrant youth population with focus and lofty dreams.
Prior the planting of the Church of God, this place was no go area. There was all manner of demonic influence and demonic manipulation. People fear to come to Ifewara, according to what we heard. But after the crusade, and more importantly, after our Father in the Lord has conducted a thorough prayer walk throughout the whole town, the town was liberated.
In your homes there will be light.
Pastor E.A. Adeboye, the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, a dotted indigene of Ifewara, driven by his passion for God and humanity, has been consistent in seeking the good of the town and its people.
This cute building behind me, we can say, is Pastor E.A. Adeboye's family house, where he was born 84 years ago and where he spent his childhood years, the years when he says he was going about for 18 years without shoes.
3 years ago, it was transformed into the Moses Adeboye Learning Center, a space for spiritual growth, academic excellence, and personal development.
We have the audio library composed of tabs which are fully loaded with sermons of ministers of God, both in Nigeria and outside Nigeria. Ministers of God like Daddy Gio, Mome Gio, Pastor Kumuyi, Bishop Oyedepo, and several like that.
The vision of the center, named after Daddy Gio's late father, is to create a generation of young leaders who embody the principles of love, compassion, and service inspired by the teachings of Jesus Christ.
We also have 2 lecture classrooms, majorly for WAEC, NECO, and JAM tutorials. From inception, it is the idea of Mommy Gio for every secondary school student in this environment and even beyond to have an easy passage to the tertiary institution.
Where Daddy Adeboye was born is now a learning center. How do you see that, sir?
Oh, it's beautiful. It's an educational. He loves education. He's learned.
So the place has helped Ifewara?
Of course, yes. Yes.
Perhaps the area where Daddy Gio's impact is most noticeable is in the growth and expansion of the Christian faith in Ifewara. With over 105 parishes of the Redeemed Christian Church of God spread across Ifewara and adjoining communities. Shegun Ojelade, Church News.
Church News will continue after this break. Stay with us.
Across Nigeria and around the world, God is moving and His church is on the march. From powerful services to global outreaches, revivals, missions, testimonies, and kingdom impact, we bring you very vital reports from the body of Christ, locally and internationally. Stay connected to what God is doing in His church today. Watch Church News on DOVETV, showing every day at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Nigerian time. For sponsorship, contact DOVETV today. Church News on DOVETV. One church, one vision, one global move of God.
You're welcome back. Ukraine has stepped up its criticism of Russian Orthodox Church, with a senior official calling for it to be expelled from the World Council of Churches, WCC, over its stance on the war. Here are the details.
Speaking at a seminar organized by the Collège de Bernardins Research Center in France, the head of Ukraine's State Service for Freedom of Conscience, Viktor Yelensky, said the organization should exclude the Russian church from membership since its activities directly contradict the fundamental principles of Christianity. Yelensky added that the Moscow Patriarchate is an enemy of both religious freedom and Ukraine, which aims at suppressing the worthy expression of religious freedom and at destroying Ukrainian statehood, culture, and identity. He added that it was absolutely legitimate to discuss sanctions against the Patriarch Kirill, as well as against other clergy who glorified war and conducted what the Patriarch describes as subversive work in Western countries. The appeal follows a fresh wave of Russian attacks that killed at least 22 civilians, with Ukrainian religious leaders claiming that the church is helping to support the Kremlin's actions.
A Catholic church in Louisiana has rectified its parish prayers after criticism that they had included a former priest recently convicted of sexual assault and not his victims. The report.
St. Anthony of Padua Church in Luling, a suburb of New Orleans, has originally listed a former pastor of the church, Anthony Odiong, in its Bulletin of Prayer Intentions promoting concern among victims and church officials. Odiong was convicted in Texas on the 29th of May for first and second degree sexual assault and sentenced to life in prison on the 2nd of June. A jury found he abused his position as a priest to pursue a long-term sexual relationship with a congregant and to coerce another victim into unwanted sex with a third party. Other women have since made similar allegations linked to his time as a priest, including at St. Anthony of Padua. After criticism, the church removed his name from the bulletin and replaced it with a new entry reading Special Intention and Victims of Clergy Abuse. The New Orleans Archdiocese said Archbishop James Kekio had instructed the parish to ensure that prayers also included those affected, adding that what Odiong is convicted of is reprehensible. The case was brought after one of the victims came forward following the Guardian investigation in 2024 into allegations of sexual coercion and abuse linked to Odiong during his ministry.
The Southern Baptist Convention, SBC, will meet in Florida next week for its annual Thanksgiving, where delegates will come once again to debate whether to tighten rules on women serving in pastoral roles. It is the fourth year in a row the issue has come before the convention as the denomination grapples with an internal dispute over gender and church leadership. Let's hear more.
The Southern Baptist Church already states in its doctrinal position that the office of a pastor is limited to men, and had in recent years expelled churches that appointed women in senior roles. A similar proposal was put to a vote last year and received majority support, around 61%, but failed to reach the two-thirds threshold needed to change the constitution. That amendment, the opponents said, was unnecessary, arguing the church already has processes to deal with churches that don't follow its rules. Some also warn it could have a disproportionate impact on black churches, where women more often have pastoral titles.
And with that report from the foreign desk, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. God bless you.